Hi trader, welcome to Elite Currency. My name is Chris. Today's focus is on the Forex market, analysis and potential trade setups of this 22nd of August. Let's start this video with the dollar-yen daily chart here, and you can see the price is retesting the bottom yet again. This is the support zone, basically the purple lines. And let's see if price breaks or bounces, basically slightly maybe leaning towards a break, but really it's very close to 50-50. And you can see that at this moment there is more of a bounce because price retested the 108.50 but didn't break through it. In fact, it's bouncing as we speak, which is interesting. It's now testing the resistance moving averages. So this is again a decision spot as well, less major as the daily support zone, but still an interesting spot for the 4-hour chart, because if it breaks above the 21 EMA zone and this fractal, there is a little bit of space up in here between the fractal and the long-term moving average and the resistance trend line. So that blue, basically the blue circle indicating that's potential space there. Not a lot of space, but maybe some 75 pips there. All right, so that would have to be traded with the break pullback continuation on a lower time frame, right? That zone right there with the SWOT template, that would look like this, for instance. We could turn it on the hourly chart, look at the SWOT candles, and you can see that price would have to break above this resistance level. It would have to show a break, pull back to the 21 EMA, and then show new blue candles, and that could be an entry for the upside as it breaks and continues basically towards the next resistance. All right, but on the 4-hour chart though, back to that, you can see that if it does not break and bounces here, it will re-challenge the support zone again. That would be challenge number 3 or 4 depending on the account. And then a breakout is starting to become more likely, and it's moving away from the 50-50 zone. So if it's just a small hook back, of course, corrective like this, then it's more of a bull flag, and then there's also a chance of a breakout. But if price really moves quite fast from this area with an impulse, then there could be a bear flag and a continued break. In any case, what I'm looking for is a break of 108.50. Look for a break pullback continuation to trade it to the downside, or look for a break pullback continuation to trade it to the upside. And if it breaks above this resistance, same thing, break pullback continue for upside. In that case, price would be headed towards maybe 112.50, right? That breakout could be further. Back to the hourly chart, and that's about it regarding the dollar yen. Let's move over to the euro dollar. Basically, we're having a break. This could be a pullback, but let's see if the pullback will bounce, right? We're not sure. There are bearish candles at this moment. But what we do know for sure is that the moving averages are aligned to the upside, bullishly aligned. Price is above those moving averages. So is there a chance that this could be a bouncing spot? Certainly. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on, is the break of this bear flag. We had a break of the resistance trend line already, right here. Then the break of this bear flag with a good 4-hour candle. So I think that there's a good chance that it will bounce. Looking at the daily candle, decent daily candle, nothing wrong with that. Looks pretty good. 4-hour chart, as you can see also on the daily chart, strong uptrend by the way. 4-hour chart, uptrend, higher highs, moving averages aligned. So let's take a look at the hourly chart. So what would I be looking for? Well, basically, I think that this should be a support zone. These are tops. Now it should act as support. So I don't think that price should break below that. Basically, if I put a fib from here to here, all right, something like that, I would be looking for a bounce to the 38.2 fib or the 50 fib, for instance, at around 117.80, 117.70, right? Those could be bouncing spots. Well, this is the top of potential wave 1, so from that point of view, 117.80 is really the level where price should and could bounce. If it doesn't, then this could be an ABC, and the bullishness is losing its steam. It might be losing its momentum. So a very crucial spot right here, right now, 117.80. Let's see if price bounces. If you're watching this later and price has already bounced, for instance, then another way of trading it would be to break above 118 again. So where price would have to break here, make a pullback, small pullback, and continue like this, and use these moving averages again. Sorry, like this. Use these moving averages as a support. That would be a way of trading it. The 38.2 fib is a way of trading the upside as well. If it fails and it doesn't turn here, then we'll have to see. Price might make a bigger correction and retest the 117.50, maybe even 117, which are still bouncing spots, because look at all these support levels right in here. Those could still be bouncing spots. and this could just be still part of the correction, but it doesn't mean that the bullish trend is over. When you look at the daily chart, 4-hour chart, that becomes pretty clear. All right, pound dollar is still in this bear flag pattern and isn't going anywhere, right? I said that maybe a upside correction is a bit more likely now that it's taking so long to develop the downside, but it would need to break above this bear flag. It didn't, so no trade there. But maybe it will break below the bear flag, right? Break, pullback continuation down to 128, down to 127.50 is still possible, as also mentioned on Sunday. Aussie is showing a bit of a headache, and that's why it's good to trail stop. Hopefully you did. I've trail stopped these fractals right in here. There are a couple of them. That is when there are three like this, that's a strong support zone, and price should break to the upside. That it didn't is a reason to get out of any long setups. I had three myself, in fact. One here, one from here, and another one here. All right, and there's no reason now to stay in. All right, because the thing is that price is going sideways like this, so it actually, considering the fact that it's an uptrend, you can see that the moving averages are aligned to the upside. Let me get rid of the fib, not to overcrowd the chart. So nice, had a nice break, pullback, should continue. And it's going sideways, so there's a perfect box for a break, pullback, continue. But it didn't. It instead respected this resistance trend line and is actually breaking through the support trend line. So these fractals were ideal to use as trail stop, to reduce the risk, and probably lock in profit, right? If the entry is anywhere on a dip. So I think that something else is going on with the Aussie at this moment. It looks like a failure to break this resistance and this trend line at this moment, and it's breaking through support. Now the trend is, the moving averages are still up, so we're not sure how deep this retracement could go. One way, I think the best way, is to put a fib from here to here, all right? And what it looks like to me, at least at this moment, is that this is a potential wave A, this is a wave B, to choppy wave B, and this could be a wave C. So price stopped the 61.8 the first time with the wave A. Where could the wave C stop? Well, it could be somewhere around the same spot with a 78.6 fib. So it's possible that there's a reversal trade down to the 61, down to the 78.6 fib, and then that could be a bouncing spot. Reversal trades are difficult to trade. Therefore, generally speaking, it's not recommended. I would personally, not sure if I'm going to trade this to the downside. Probably not. I might look for a bounce down lower for the Aussie to continue higher, because if I look at the 4-hour chart, things are still pretty bullish, and I don't want to trade against that. But if it does finish its retracement, I'll be looking for a bounce, and then later on the break. All right. So that's what I'm looking for on the Aussie. Dollar CAD is at the confluence of the 61.8 and the minus 272 target. Let's see if price responds to that. If there is some strong 4-hour candle, could be the first potential bounce indication. It could also retrace deeper to this confluence. Let's see which zone is ultimately used for the bigger bounce. The other way of trading it would be to wait for a break of this fractal, pull back, and continue to have a clear higher high and higher low structure. But ultimately, this does look like a 5-wave, as I said, and this looks like an ABC. So either here or here, there could be the end of that correction. And a new 5-wave up could be possible on the dollar CAD. Let's see if that happens. Invalidation level, once again, is this bottom for the upside. Kiwi is, at this moment, a bit of a mixture in my view. I think that for me to trade it to the upside, I would need a break of these fractals and moving averages. Break, pullback, continue. To trade it to the downside, possible long-term moving averages there. It would, the target would have to be the 50 fib. Would have to be maybe on a lower time frame break pullback down to the 50 fib. Does not look very appealing because of the small kind of choppy movement here. Gold did not break yesterday, the high of 2 days ago. Big bearish pin bar on Monday. That bounce setup is still valid for a move down to the long-term moving average at 1250, I think. Euro yen has broken below this support trend line, but Monday was a doji. Sorry, this is actually a different day. This is Friday was a doji. Monday was a slight bullish candle. And basically, a bit of indecision here, I think. There is theoretically this gap here if price breaks to the downside one more time. So I would say if it breaks below the 38, break, pullback, continue down to the 50 and the 61.8. That's perfectly fine. At this moment, I'm not too sure. It's testing this trend line again. Will it go back into old trend or will it bounce? It's difficult to say. I mean, looking at the hourly chart, there is divergence between these tops, but I'm not a big fan of trading it either way on the euro yen. I'm going to wait for more price action. Pound yen is at a target. It too is not that great of a spot. It could be a bouncing spot too. Basically, there is divergence between these bottoms. For me to trade it to the upside, I would need to see a break above the 21 EMA, pull back and continue. That could be either with candlesticks or the SWOT candles showing blue candles and then a pull back to the 21 and then again blue candles up to this top and the long-term moving average, right? That would be one way of trading it. The other way could be to wait for basically this bear flag to finish and trade it, continue to the downside, in fact. All right, but for me, I think price would need to break below this bottom first. I would need to see a break, pullback, continue below 139.75, and then there could be an extension down for another, perhaps even 200 pips, as you can see. Minus 61.8 target, close to just below 138. Last but not least, the euro odd seems to be trying to break above this resistance trend line on the 4-hour chart and is not breaking to the downside at this moment. All right, quite a mixed picture on the 1-hour chart regarding the moving averages. 4-hour chart mixed too. Daily chart is looking slightly bullish because the moving averages are aligned. So if anything, I guess it could be a breakout. I'm to the upside, but I'm not really a big fan of it at the moment. Pound odd, as you can see, the space is down here, as I already explained, below 161, down to 161.59.50. But price is not moving in that zone, so we need to be patient. If there is a break, that's great. Break, pullback, continuation, that should be fine. For the moment, I'm just sitting on the sidelines and waiting for this potential break to play out. If it doesn't, I will not trade it to the upside for the moment, and might update that tomorrow or 2 days from now when we have a new analysis. But for the moment, euro odd, pound odd, carefully sitting on the sidelines, waiting for pound odd to break the bottom, waiting for euro odd to show more price action, pound yen to break 139.75, and euro yen waiting for more price action as well. So those are a bit more cautious approaches. But I think regarding the others, like the euro dollar and dollar yen and the pound dollar, there could be potential setups here. Aussie too later on. But we have to see how the dollar settles itself, basically, as it seems to be a bit on the choppy side at the moment. All right, more free indicators, templates, and ebooks, materials you can find at elitecurrency.com. If you like this video, please share, like, and subscribe, and wish you all great trading. Cheers.